Indian space program is very unique in several sense. It has started very late compared to the advanced nations, 20 years later compared to USA or Russia. But today, we have caught up in space technology, and India is in par with the advanced nation as well as its capability to build the satellites, launch with their own rockets, and implement programs which will benefit the common man. This is all because of the great vision Dr. Vikram Sarabhai had. He had contacts with the international community as an astrophysicist, and that contacts has definitely helped the chiefs of NASA, chiefs of French Space Agency, Russian Space Agency. All these people were sort of a very good friends of Dr. Sarabhai. So, way back in 1961 itself, he has said that we have to initiate such a program in India. Well, at the time, it was under government considered this. And as you know, Dr. Sarabhai was a person who set up the physical research laboratory at Ahmedabad. He hails from a very rich family, and their interest is in business. And this bright young man, he left all those things, like Uthar, and he just put his eyes on the science and technology. And he said, India, if it has to progress, we have to master the highest level of science and technology. It's just not only the mastery, and that technology has to be used to improve the quality of life of the common man. So this great vision is what has triggered the space program.
Sir, when you say about this part, what I am recalling is about almost a similar line in which Dr. Baba also envisioned the nuclear program. And it might be coincidence that the space program also started as an adjunct of the DAE, and Dr. Baba and Sarabhai together building it up. So visions almost...
certainly, you know, those days, the science and technology played a very crucial role and had a respectable position at the national level. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he was very passionate. And he has set up all these institutes, you know, the Institute of Technology, IITs, research laboratories, and all those things. If you look at that way, Dr. Sarabhai and Dr. Baba, they have done joint work on some areas with Dr. C.V. Raman, Nobel laureate at IISc. So they were thick friends those days itself. And Dr. Baba turned to TFR and then built up the atomic program. And there again, his vision was very clear. We want to master the technology of cracking the atom, use the energy for peaceful purposes. It was a declared objective of the atomic energy program. Similarly, Dr. Sarabhai also declared the same thing. The space technology has to be used for the common man and for the civilian users. He didn't talk about the nuclear, tying up with the nuclear program or using it for military purposes at that time.
Yeah.
And he said, we don't have the ambition to compete with the advanced nations, but at the same time, we have to be self-sufficient in this area. In fact, that's a spirit in which all ISRO works with the Sarabhai vision.
Yes.
And not only Sarabhai vision, it is the Sarabhai culture. The work culture, what he has introduced way back in 60s, is very unique.
Can you elaborate that, sir?
Well, you know that he was a very simple, down-to-earth person. First, my meeting was at Tumba Equatorial Rocket Launch Station, and I joined here in 1967. And the first meeting was after about a month or so when Dr. Sarabhai came for a visit here. And then Dr. Kalam was my immediate boss. He introduced me to Dr. Sarabhai. He talked to me as though he knew me for years in a very friendly manner, you know. And then he asked, young man, why did you select this? And I said, I want to do something new. Yes, such a passion is good. But you know, the space is a high-risk game and you are getting into an unknown territory. Keep your eyes and ears open. This is exactly what he told me. And that rings in my mind all through this. In fact, I virtually followed that route, learning lifelong. And that is what has changed me from an electrical engineer to space technologies. So that's a great inspiration. And more than that, his passion towards the people. He loved everybody, whether it is a cook who is making food in the guest house. In fact, that day itself, as soon as he came, he didn't look at any of us. He straight away walked into the kitchen and asked that Chelapan, he was a cook there. We asked him, what is there for food for me? He said, sir, your favorite avial and all and everything is there. So he was very happy and patted him and came back. Then only he talked to us. So that's the level at which he starts.
Interact.
And then, I still recall there was a discussion about building a satellite launch vehicle and all those things. In that meeting, normally in any organization, the seniors will be called. Here, he called all of us. And we were sitting there in an old school building. There was no Paka building at church at the time. And that he was sitting like a headmaster, and we were all sitting in front of him and chatting, and then we were trying to. Even the silliest suggestion, he was patient enough to listen. But at the end of the day, he says, "You do like this," and then people follow. And again, he has created a very healthy competition. See, the technologists are egoists. They are almost like islands.
Yes.
So, to break that, what he has done is, the same problem he will give to 2 or 3 people and work out parallel solution. Then there's a competition between those teams.
Yes.
And naturally, the best performer wins. In fact, if you look at the history of SLV-3, that rocket, people wanted to have a 40 kilogram spacecraft be placed into orbit. It is almost similar to the Scout rocket, which was made in USA those days. It was very popular among the scientists. So, in the final review in the Dr. Sarabhai's meeting, we are convinced that a configuration similar to that has to be developed.
Yes.
What he did is, he gave each one of those rockets to chief scientists. Dr. Gavarikar had one row, then Dr. Bhutanayak, he took up another one, Dr. Kalam had another one, then Dr. Gupta was asked to do the control guidance and all those things, and so on.
S.C. Gupta.
Yes. And surprisingly, he has given me one portion of the project at the time itself.
Oh.
All these people which I mentioned, he's 10 years older to me.
Yes.
He caught me and gave me the telecommand project. Even today, the telecommand system for safety purposes is operational share report I am here, which I developed this time, and I still enjoy the opportunity which is given by him. But for that such challenge, perhaps I would have been an ordinary engineer. Okay, so that's the kind of person he is, and he respected every individual. The suggestions coming from any quarters. In fact, the problem of land acquisition was very severe there. And the fisherman community was occupying the entire beach.
Yes.
Then Dr. Sarabhai, he has charmed the bishop there, Bishop Pereira. And then he has virtually convinced him that this is for national interest. And the bishop himself came forward, talked to the entire people, and got it evacuated within a month. Can you imagine such a thing happening today?
And the church remains the embodiment.
And the church became the birthplace for space program.
Because
we didn't have any other building. So we converted that church building into laboratories. And in fact, at one end of that, the propellant was being made. Another end, the electronics was being made, and so on. And just looking back, you'll be shocked to hear those days, the propellant mix, we didn't have the proper grinder and all those things. So just the grinding stone. On beach, people are doing it. It is an extremely hazardous and dangerous operation. If a small spark comes, and everything will explode. So that's the kind of way we learned the technology. Then, of course, there was a bishop was attached to that church. But Dr. Kalam's office was there. First, my entry into Tumba was to meet Kalam in that office.
Okay.
And as soon as I reached there, he asked his tenor to give me a notebook. I have not taken notebook for several years, even in college. But here, this man was commanding so much. Okay, I respectfully took that. And within about an hour, he gave me about 50, 60 action items. He said, you write down all these things. Then you discuss with people, go to library, find out. And within 1 month, I want to research. It's virtually putting you in the frying pan. So it happened at the Bishop House. My initiation to space.
First day itself.
First day itself. And then onwards, it is my association with Kalam was great. In fact, he was my guru in all respects. He taught me technology and his management style, and combined with the Sarabhais that dealing with people.
Yeah.
That is the one which has helped me to make the progress. Those days, there is laboratories were not there. Even proper sitting space is not there, and there is no way of moving around. To reach that place, we had to get down a place called Kulattur nearby. From there, about 1.5 kilometers, we had to walk by road. Then cross the canal in a boat. Again, walk another kilometer to his office. So that's how we started our work. 8 o'clock, there's only one bus which is going from city to that place. We catch that meticulously, and evening 6 o'clock, we return back. And inside movement, it is only bicycles. Of course, I knew this riding cycles earlier, so that becomes the common mode of transportation.
Yes.
And you must have seen the famous picture.
Yeah, transporting
where the rocket parts are being transported in a cycle. Of course, for two reasons. One is we do not have such vehicles. Other thing is hazardous materials you cannot take in a jeep or a car because of spark and petrol and all those things. So it is an innovative solution, I would say.